This is, first of all, our first time using the entire building for one artist. So that's something we dreamed about doing when we built the building, and we haven't done yet. Once you give the building to Robert Longo, it's not your building anymore. Okay, so this is now Longo's house. And what's happening up here is something that would be, I guess, typical of Longo's house.
Rhys Chatham and I have been playing music together for years. So in a weird way, his music is like the soundtrack for my art.
G3 was made in 1977, and as the name implies, it was for 3 electric guitars. And tonight, at the Pace Gallery, we're going to do an extended version of this piece for 6 electric guitars, along with Robert's movie, Image Storm.
Of course, this film piece up here, this is definitely Robert's interpretation of this music.
So we have about 15,000 images of just the news images that we turn black and white, and they're running at about 100 frames per second, and they're hooked up to a computer that randomly stops them for 2 or 3 seconds. And I mean, I just basically wanted to like present you what you're seeing every day for a split second. But what's interesting is how much you actually see when it's, even though it's moving really fast. It's amazing.
It's not unusual that Robert loves this piece of music because it's really just like comes on very strong and it's powerful. It's kind of like one of his drawings of a bomb or something. It's like it has that power.
It's just like a massively generative piece that so many things come from this piece, whether they know it or not. Sonic Youth is a direct outcome of Guitar Trio. I mean, really, without Guitar Trio, there's no Nirvana. It's a direct line.
The simplicity of it, and yet the beauty of it, and the ability to kind of vibe off of what other people are doing, and you hear these overtones, and you just hear this kind of ecstasy.
The piece is so much like the pictures generation because Rhys is this minimalist or maybe post-minimalist composer, but then employing the tactics of rock music. And I think too, like the whole pictures generation was really important to sort of collide these different forms together to kind of reveal what's going on.
What's interesting is that this is like a museum show here at Pace. It's very different than a commercial gallery show. And when they proposed that, I thought, are you joking or kidding?
I think it's really easy when you make these giant, entirely legible works of art that look like photographs. It's easy for viewers to sort of look at them and not necessarily engage. But like every work of art, the more time you spend with it, the more rewarded you become. And so when you understand that this is actually charcoal drawing, as Robert always says, then people, they do spend time. They get closer to the drawings. They want to see the hand.
It wasn't until I got to know him and actually went to his studio and saw them in the process of being made that it's like, this is pretty powerful stuff.
Robert's pieces are always very powerful. They're meaningful. They make statements. He's monumental.
There's so much else that goes into these drawings. He does not undertake a single image lightly. Everything is researched. It takes a long time to make these charcoal drawings, but it takes a long time to get to the point where even the drawings begin. That's part of the process that really carries Robert's weight of his passion, the urgency he feels for making this work. I think it's all tied up in that.
I mean, I don't think people realize, maybe they do, what he gives to make this work.
With everything that's going on in the art world and in the museum world, and censorship is coming to a head again, and so this is a courageous act for Robert.